Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a beautiful night for some football where your Lee Summit Tigers are going to take on the Lee Summit North Broncos. Pryor, what do you think are going to be some keys to take down the Broncos tonight?
Well, it's really going to be an offensive battle tonight, Nolan. I mean, both these teams have great offenses tonight, and it's going to be up to which defense can stop one. We've got two great wide receivers playing tonight, four-star Isaiah Mosey in the class of 2025, and also four-star receiver Josh Manning with Mizzou commit. And it's really going to be a big matchup coming down to those two. And both explosive offenses as well. You got Elijah Martinez for Lee Summit. He's 7th in the state in total yards, and Devin Andrews leading the state in 8th in rushing yards so far. So really going to be which defense comes down to win the game.
We'll have our national anthem sung. And we are back after the national anthem there. Like you were saying, Pryor, yeah, I think this receiver matchup is going to be a battle of the defenses, honestly. I mean, both teams have such a powerful offense, but I think it's going to be a battle of who can stop who on defense.
Well, for sure. It's going to be a real test for Lee Summit tonight because they're going to be facing a dual quarterback matchup. We have Maxwell Ford and Elijah Leonard both from North, and they'll be switching off tonight, and we'll see how they can contribute to Lee Summit North. And it's a real test for both teams. Lee Summit North trying to get back to state and win a state championship like they've been trying to do for the last 2 years. And for Lee Summit, it's a really big test to see how their improvement's been going with Elijah Martinez playing so great here lately, and as well as Devin Andrews.
With that being said, we're going to throw it down to Paige Gregory for a sideline report real quick. Thank you, Paige. Pryor, we're just over 4 minutes above game time here. I'm ready to get this game underway.
Oh, for sure. Both teams have been so amped up about this the whole season. They've been waiting for this moment to go against each other. Just a big test for both teams here tonight. We're going to really see just a great offensive game. I feel like which defense can step up the most, and it should be exciting to watch.
Agreed. I'm really excited to see Devin Andrews for the Tigers, too. I mean, he has been balling out this season, showing that we can run the ball and pass the ball. If we can use him and utilize his effectiveness, I think this will be a great game for the Tigers.
For sure. He's first in conference in rushing yards and 9th in the state overall.
Both teams are 2-1. The Tigers being 5th in the conference, Broncos 4th. So this game is a very important game. This is an in-conference game for Suburban Red Conference.
For sure. Lee Summit trying to snap the 2-game win streak that North has going for them. See if we can snap it here tonight over this. It would be a massive win, one of the biggest wins in school history for Lee Summit here tonight.
Agreed. This is such a competitive game. I mean, those crosstown rivalries always are impactful.
For sure, and really big for the overall players here tonight. You might have missed it. Mizzou coach Elia Drinkwitz flew in on a helicopter here tonight, and he's watching the game, seeing which players stand out here tonight. So really big for players and teams here tonight.
Agreed. Very, very cool to have a presence like that at your game, just knowing that he's there. We started off tonight with a tribute to our senior Tigerettes, it being senior night. A little bit of wind there. We'll see what Tigers can win the kickoff here as they're about to do the flip. Now, Pryor, do you think the Tigers are going to want to start with the ball or kick it away?
No, I really think they're going to want to start with the ball first here, get a feel for North's defense. North's defense only given up 17 points to Liberty North in the first game this year, who won state last year, and it's really going to be a big test. Their defense has played really well so far, only gave up 20 points to Staley last week, so really going to see what tempo they have going forward and what game plan the Tigers have on offense to combat that North D.
Agreed. I think the Tigers are going to want to kick it away and get that ball back during the or at the start of the third quarter there, just because, you know, having that ball, having the ability to rely on that towards the later start of the game is always nice.
And the Tigers are coached by Coach Eric Thomas, and North is coached by Jamar Mosey. And like I said, the Broncos coming off a 47-21 win versus Staley, and the Tigers coming off a massive win at Blue Springs where they put up 41 points.
Both teams will be hyped up for this matchup. Both crowds going to play a factor here tonight because these games are so close for each other. Both teams really going to show out here tonight.
For sure, and you know Lee Summit's loud crowd is so ready for this. They've been pumped up all week. Such a big game, the biggest game, best team they're going to play all year on the schedule, so should be exciting. And North's got some standout players such as Caden Green, a 4-star O-tackle committed to Oklahoma, and like I said, Isaiah Mosey, another 4-star who's offers from Georgia, Oregon, and Oklahoma, so it should be exciting to watch. And for the Tigers, they're really going to need to watch out, like I said, Isaiah Mosey on defense, and as well as Xavier Winston, who had 6 receptions and 114 yards with a touchdown against Staley. So really going to need to lock down on them tonight.
With just about 30 seconds here before game time, we're going to throw down a quick hype video. Here we go. Kickoff about to begin. Tigers lined up and ready. Broncos lined up and ready. And we are underway in Bud Herzog Stadium. Ball is deep, and it'll be a touchback. Broncos starting on the 25.
And I'd like to see what kind of defense Lee Summit comes out starting here. I mean, North's just got such that good O-line. Like I said, 4-star tackle Caden Green. They're really going to need to get pressure on the quarterbacks here tonight with Maxwell Ford and Elijah Leonard, because you can't let him sit back in the pocket and deliver those passes to Isaiah Mosey and Xavier Winston. Agreed.
With such wide receiver threats out there, you don't want to give that quarterback time to make those passes to his great receivers. You don't want to try and get in there, put some pressure on, and really try and do what you can to disrupt those throws. Now, Pryor, you were talking about that 2-quarterback offense. What quarterback is out there right now for the Broncos?
I believe it is Elijah Leonard out there they're starting with right now.
Handoff left side, has a little bit of room, makes a man miss, and is tripped up just around the 37.
And like I said, just such a great O-line that North has. You saw Caden Green, the O-tackle on that block right there, open up that hole. And not a great start for Lee Summit here.
First and 10 for the Broncos. Oh, wow. Looks like we had a substitution there for a ripped jersey. As that one is a quick, short check down there.
And there's Isaiah Mosey already in this game. Second play of the game, you know they're going to try to get him implemented in this offense here tonight.
Starting early, I mean, second play of the game, and they're already targeting him. That one went for about 3 yards.
And these second downs are going to be huge here for Lee Summit. They want to keep him. They don't want to let him get too much yardage here and make it a manageable third down here.
Run play left side. Stopped about 2 yards short of the first down there. That'll bring up third down for the Tigers.
And that's going to be another thing that Lee Summit's going to need here to watch tonight. Elijah Leonard uses that big 6'4" frame, and he's not afraid to run with the ball and get that yardage.
Third downs are going to be crucial for the Tiger defense, too. If we can get those stops early in this game, it'll be a massive turning point for the
sure.
Tigers.
Every single stop is going to be massive here. And this North team is just so good. You can't allow them that many mistakes here tonight.
4 receivers out wide. Handoff up the middle. Breaks through, pushes forward for the first down. Ball down around the 49-yard line. So far, we've seen the Broncos running it. Do you think this will be a trend we see prior, or do you think they'll start to air it out a little bit more?
You know, I think it's really going to be – I think they're really going to keep continuing it until Lee Summit figures it out here. I mean, they've looked really poised running the ball so far here in this first drive, and, you know, I'd stick with it if I was them.
Agreed. I think until the Tigers prove that they can stop the run, I think the Broncos are going to continue it. 3 receivers out wide. Another run, left side. Tries to bounce it outside. Is brought down after about a gain of 4 yards there.
And once you see again that left side of the O-line, just allowing that, just getting those good blocks and allowing that space for the running back to get through for another 4 or 5 yard gain.
Yeah, major factor on that left side. Caden Green, I mean, like you said, Oklahoma commit, really showing why he's committed to a Power 1 school like that. 5 receivers, empty backfield. A little bit of pressure. Makes a man miss. Ball downfield is caught. Makes a man miss, and that will be a touchdown Broncos.
There is a flag in the backfield, though. And the Tigers sideline celebrating here.
Looks like that one will be going back as Tigers are walking back. I believe that was holding. Holding against the Broncos.
Someone popped confetti on Lee Summit North's sideline over there. Little early celebration.
Little premature celebration there. As Jalen Porter enters the game as number 58 now after that last jersey was ripped. I don't think I've ever seen that before prior.
That is definitely an oddity that you really don't see every single time you go out to Bud Herzog Stadium.
Agreed. I imagine that is not what he was expecting the first play of the game to be like, getting his jersey ripped.
And that's a really crucial penalty here for Lee Summit. A really big break for them because it moves North back to now 2nd and 24.
Yeah,
and a big opportunity to get them off the field here.
I believe we're going to see a pass here. Such a long yardage. Handoff, left side. Tanner Howes has some room. Makes one man miss, but is brought down at about the 45-yard line.
Tanner Howes is so good. He had 15 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown last week. Really going to need to keep an eye on him for Lee Summit.
Very elusive back. Like we just saw, he's making people miss, getting open, and really finding the holes in the defense where he can get some open field.
He's sort of like a Devin Andrews in a way for that Lee Summit's running back. He's not that big really, but he's got that elusiveness and that speed to just get around you.
Very shifty back. Sets up for a 3rd and 4 for the Broncos. Ball on the Tigers' 45-yard line.
And this is a massive third down here for Lee Summit to get off the field early.
A stop here would be crucial. Pass, rolling out right. Throws the ball downfield. Intercepted, Tigers off the tip.
That was great pressure there by Landon Barnett to get to Elijah Leonard and make him throw off his back foot sidearm. And great reaction time by Eric Potts to grab that tip pass in the air and give the Tigers great field possession. That is a massive play early in this game and a momentum shifter here for Lee Summit. That's what they're going to need, plays like that to win this game.
Agreed. That is exactly what we were talking about prior. I mean, right there, that big momentum shifter with that pick coming off of the tipped pass there.
Oh, it looks like we have an injured player here.
on the Tigers sideline. Ball will be on the 24-yard line for the Tigers.
Hope he's all right. And injuries on defense have already been pretty big for Lee Summit. They lost their starting defensive end, Aiden Kavinsky, last week to a knee injury. So really something they're going to have to adjust to, and new players going to have to step up here.
Agreed. Now, what offense do you think the Tigers are going to come out with? I mean, the ball string on the 24, what do you think we're going to see from the Tigers? A little bit of that pass game or that run game that's been so effective?
I definitely think they're going to start out with the read option kind of plays here for the Tigers. I mean, Elijah Martinez is just so good on the ground. You got Devin Andrews to complement him. And really, the passing game is just going to be so big because they're all – I feel like North is just going to really rely on David Dussett and Josh Manning, so it really allows that third receiver to get open and make those plays.
Agreed. And I think if we can get that RPO offense working for the Tigers, they'll see a increase in production, especially with how lethal that run game is. It can be so potent on the ground, and then they can air it out to their multiple receivers.
For sure. The offense got off to a rough start this year, but they've really started to figure out in these last two games here.
Agreed. First down for the Tigers. Pass across the middle, and it is incomplete.
Really risky throw to start out the game there. Really surprised to see him throw the ball this early, but
looks like it was a little bit of miscommunication there. Pass intended for David Dossett, but it didn't look like he was quite ready for that one.
I don't really hate the throw there. I mean, you really want to make a big throw like early in the game, get that momentum across, and really set the tone on that offense right there. So
the ball was almost picked off, though. As you saw, David Dossett almost had to sort of bat that one out of the defender's hands. Pass, looking across the middle, finds his man. That'll be a first down for the Tigers. David Dossett on the catch there. First and 10 now for the Tigers on the 36-yard line.
Big momentum shifter for Lee Summit to get that first down. Now you really feel the tempo here as they throw another throw.
Pass as he looks like the receiver slipped there. North is showing a blitz, and I think we've seen 6 rushing prior. How is that going to affect the quarterback presence for Elijah Martinez?
Well, they definitely have watched their film, knowing that they're just so lethal in the backfield with Devin Andrews and Elijah Martinez, not trying to let anything go through on that run game. So we might see more passing here from Elijah Martinez here tonight.
Looks like Lee Summit North has the 5 front. Flag down on the play. Looks like that is going to be on the Broncos. 5-yard penalty. 2nd and 5 for the Tigers now from the 41-yard line.
And already 2 big penalties we've seen here from North, one on that offensive drive and now one on defense here.
That was one of the things that was haunting the Tigers as we see a false start there for the Broncos. Another penalty. Prior, one thing the Tigers were struggling with early in the season is those penalties. We've already seen 3 from Lee Summit North tonight. That could play a big factor here.
For sure, and it really, it might be reminiscent of that Staley game we called a couple weeks ago where they believe they had 15 penalties on them, so really not the case if you're in Lee Summit North.
First down and 10 for the Tigers on the 46. Quick pass to David Dossett. He is called down at the 50.
That's 3
Forward
straight
progress there.
3 straight plays they've gone to David Dossett here to start the game.
Ball over the 50 now on Broncos territory.
And a smart play by Elijah Martinez looking through his progressions and finding the open man and just getting those 5 yards.
Agreed. He's doing a great job of avoiding his blitz because North is blitzing as he scrambles up the middle, takes a hit, but scrambles forward for about a gain of 4 there.
You can see North playing that QB spy on him, not trying to allow him to run there. Only pick up a gain of 4.
Yeah, without shifty Elijah Martinez, I feel like you have to guard him. I mean, he can move so well in the pocket, and then if he's pressured, he can make a man miss and get out of the pocket and gain yards on a play that's broken down. 3rd and 2 for the Tigers.
And this is a big 3rd down here.
3 receivers out wide. Handoff up the middle. Devin Andrews will push forward for the first down.
Ooh, it's going to be close.
Referee signaling for the first down. Chains are moving.
Great job by that offensive line. Show it with Lee Summit North showing the blitz once again, just plowing that defensive back and allowing Devin Andrews to get that first down.
I don't think the Tigers have faced a defense like this yet with such a loaded up box.
Definitely not.
David Dossett with room to run. Moves along the right sideline and is brought down at about the 27 there.
Great play call to
gain.
Great play call to bring him in motion and have that head start on the defender right there and pick up a massive gain.
Great. Tigers, like we said, doing a great job of avoiding the blitz.
Really adjusting to Lee Summit North's defense really quick right now.
Great. Getting those short checkdowns with that blitz coming in, you don't have a whole lot of time in the pocket, really doing a good job of getting those passes out quickly.
Lee Summit adjusting really well to a defense they haven't really seen it all this year.
David Dossett in motion. Elijah Martinez scrambles out left. Good block by Devin Andrews. Has a little bit of room to run and will take it out of bounds for about a gain of 1 or 2.
Smart play there, just taking what he can get there, not forcing anything.
And that was a good block by Devin Andrews. Had the defensive back coming in there, and he got the block off and was able to keep Elijah Martinez on his feet there.
For sure, and that's really what Elijah Martinez has been doing so well these last 2 weeks. Ever since that Blue Spring South game, he's been a lot more cautious with the ball and taking what he can, what the defense gives him, and not playing too aggressive.
Yeah. 2nd and 7 for the Tigers here. Ball on about the 25. Pass in the middle is dropped. Incomplete. Looked like he might have caught it there for a second. 3rd and 7 for the Tigers.
I believe that pass was intended for Landon Mutre.
As we see kicker Rowan McCarthy down there setting up for a field goal. As he is in field goal range. We've seen him make some deep field goals so far this year.
For sure, but if you're Lee Summit here, you want to get these first downs. These touchdowns are going to be really crucial here.
Another penalty. Tigers signaling on the Broncos.
And it looks like another offsides.
These penalties are just really gaining yards for the Tigers for free. That's just not what you want to see as the North defense.
Already 4 penalties here in the first 10 minutes for the Broncos. Really not something we're used to seeing out of them.
3rd and 1 for the Tigers now. Much more manageable 3rd down here. Ball on about the 17. Devin Andrews in motion. Ball intended and out of bounds, incomplete. Target was David Dossett.
All right, Nolan, what's the call here? You going for it or you kicking?
4th and 1 early in the game. I think we go for it.
And it looks like they are going to go for it here.
Not much to lose here. I mean, getting these points early would be nice, but a touchdown would really set the tone, and especially with such a short down and knowing that we have the capable running back, Devin Andrews, this is a very manageable situation, and we have good field position. It wouldn't put the Broncos in too much of a good field positioning.
For sure. I think Eric Thomas has some faith in his offense right here, seeing how they move the ball downfield so far in this game.
Great handoff the middle, and he is brought down. That'll be a turnover on downs. Broncos will take that over on the 21-yard line.
Really big play there by that Broncos defensive line to get in there and swarm them. On a 4th and 1 especially, it's a massive play for your defense.
I think they smelled the run there. I think they knew exactly what play call was coming, and they were ready for it. Just 5 minutes left in this first quarter, still 0-0. So far, Pryor, I mean, we've seen a pretty defensive game.
Well, it's been a really even matchup so far in this first 10 minutes here, surprisingly. Everybody was thinking North was going to come and really just blow them out, but it's really just been really even for both teams so far, besides North getting all those penalties.
Pryor, I have to say it's a much more beautiful night out here than last year when we played Lee Summit North, where it was pouring rain and storming and there was multiple weather delays.
For sure.
Instead, we've got a beautiful cloudy night.
I believe there was a rain delay that lasted around an hour, and a game that Lee Summit North won 36-0. So Lee Summit coming back out here with a statement here tonight and trying to turn the tables here.
Yeah. Broncos taking a little bit longer to huddle as they come out now. Probably just coach talking to his guys, making sure no panic, no rush, just move the ball, do your job as the offense, and the defense will get your back.
I believe Maxwell Ford is now coming out to be the quarterback here for Lee Summit North. So it looks like switching off on each possession, maybe.
Handoff left side. Tanner Howes will bounce it outside. Has a little bit of room, but is brought down after about a gain of 8. One thing we've noticed prior is, they are running into that left side very heavily.
For sure.
Their running back being so shifty, he's able to bounce it outside and get the edge.
Obvious to tell that's their strongest side of the offensive line here. And Maxwell Ford versus Staley went 6 for 7 with 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. So let's see what he can bring to this North offense here tonight.
2nd and 2 for the Broncos. Lined up at about the 31. Handoff again. Charges through the pile there. Gains about 5.
Another run to that left side around I believe that's the 5th time we've seen that already here. See if Lee Summit can make an adjustment here.
1st and 10 for the Broncos. They're moving the ball well, really utilizing that run game. Haven't seen a whole lot of the pass game yet, but with the run working so well, I can't blame them.
Yeah, I've only seen that one catch that Isaiah Mosey had for that short gain of 3 yards.
And then the attempted pass that was tipped and was picked off. As we see a pass here, just a short check down, good for about a gain of 3.
Great job of Ford staying in that pocket with that defense collapsing around him, finding that throw.
Getting it out quickly, it's like we're seeing Elijah Martinez do. Both quarterbacks doing a good job of picking up the blitz and getting that ball out quickly.
For sure, and both of these teams have really great running quarterbacks. Maxwell Ford and Elijah Leonard are both really good running quarterbacks for North. So let's see if Lee Summit can try to stop them too on some play action passes or some shotgun throws.
3:40 left in this game. See a run. That will be a 1st down for the Broncos to that left side again.
And Lee Summit North looking like they're just going to continue running that to that left side until Lee Summit figures it out here.
Now, if you're Coach Eric Thomas, what are you doing on defense to try and stop that run to the left side? Do you want to stack that side and risk having the weak side on the other side, or are you going to try and just trust your guys and let them make the play?
You're really in a pickle here because you stack that side, that leaves more space open for a play action pass to Isaiah Mosey, who's on that side. So really a wild card here.
Handoff, cut back up the middle. Breaks a tackle and is brought down after a gain of 5.
Looked like they were trying to go to the right side there, but he cut it back to that left side on that counter.
Yeah, and that was a good job of the running back to recognize that the right side was collapsing, so he cut it back left, but good tackle by the defense to bring it up after 5.
I believe that was Quincy Baker on the carry there.
2nd and 5 for the Broncos. Ball across midfield into Tiger territory. Empty backfield for the Broncos. 5 receivers out, and the quarterback is sacked.
Malachi Shaw. Massive sack there for Lee Summit. That's exactly what they needed. North finally trying to pass the ball here, but great pursuit there by Malachi Shaw to get around the defender.
On the safety blitz there, Malachi's a safety, so different play call we've seen, unusual for the Tigers. There's that safety blitz, which brings up a 3rd and 12 for the Broncos.
Sure, a massive sack there to bring up this long 3rd down here, and I'd like to see what North dials up here on this 3rd down. Obviously going to be a passing play here.
Definitely a big momentum spot here prior. If North can't convert this is going to be a very interesting situation as the play is blown dead.
And North's going to take a timeout.
Signals for a timeout. Their first of the half.
Definitely going to look for Isaiah Mosey or Xavier Winston on this 3rd down here. We haven't seen too much of Xavier Winston here tonight, or really Mosey. Mosey with that 1 catch. Winston with 0 targets here so far, with North running the ball so well.
But on 3rd and 12, a long down like that, I think you almost have to pass and really try and get that conversion, or at least get yourself into more of a manageable 4th down.
For sure.
Which we could see. Do you think we might see a run and get them and try and get them to set it up for a?
We very well could here with with Maxwell Ford being such a good running quarterback here, as well as a passer, you can see him on the ground try to run it and escape out of the pocket. If they get enough yards here on this third down, all you need is really 6 or 7 yards here, and really you could go for it.
That's what I'm thinking. I think we could see either a run play or a pass play. The run play trying to set up that fourth down, make it a little bit more manageable, closer down, get it to another running play. Or we could see a pass that goes for the 12-yard gain here and try and get that first down just straight up.
As Coach Drinkwitz leaves in his helicopter. This will be playing tomorrow with the Missouri Tigers.
Crowd getting loud for this one. Big opportunity for the Tigers defense. Pass across the middle, and it is for a first down and maybe more. 5, and that is a touchdown Broncos.
Isaiah Mosey. And there's
Flag
a flag.
on the play.
I believe it's after the touchdown, though, so it will
agree.
count. Looked like they tried to play some zone coverage there, and he exploited it perfectly.
Just found the gap in that defense, and a few missed tackles led to the touchdown.
And that's really plays you can't have against Lee Summit North. With them being ranked number 6 in the state, you just can't let up playing this team. See what the penalty flag is here. I believe it'll be excessive celebration on Mosey here, but the touchdown will still count.
Looks like we'll just move that that PAT back just a few yards. Penalty to be tacked onto the kickoff, sorry. PAT is up, and that will be good. 7-0 Broncos, just 1 minute 37 left in the first quarter here.
And what are spots there by Lee Summit North getting those penalties on that defense, then ending up stopping him and really just driving that ball downfield, getting that big third down conversion there to Mosey for that touchdown. And for Lee Summit here, it's going to be a really crucial offensive drive here to get points on the board.
Agreed, especially after that failed 4th and 1 last drive. Really need to gain that momentum back and try and get some points on the board. And I think if you're the Tigers and you get a chance to score, I think you take 3 if it comes down to it.
For sure. And I want to see if North keeps continuing that blitz there, even though they had 4 offside penalties on that drive. Looked like Lee Summit figured it out, or they go with a different type of defense here.
Agreed. I think it'll be interesting to see what North decides to do on defense there. Broncos will kick this one off from the 25.
It was a really great throw there by Maxwell Ford on that third down. Xander Hall was coming in on that pursuit and stayed with it in a perfect pass to Isaiah Mosey, who eluded the defenders and really showed you why he's a 4-star recruit that right there.
Agreed. He did his job, made a man miss, showed that speed. Teams lined up for the kickoff here. Ball is up and shorter than it normally would have been with that penalty tacked on. Tigers trying to cut it up the middle, has room, just one man to beat, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Jaden Gibson on the return there.
Really big return there, and really what Lee Summit needed. Great starting field position for this offense.
Absolutely, and that's electric for the Tigers, really showing that they are not out of this game.
For sure. Jaden Gibson just been really huge these past 2 games. Had a touchdown against Staley, and I believe he had another one against Blue Springs. So he's really come along here in these last two games here for Lee Summit. Let's see if North continues that blitz here.
Looks like they have the box loaded, but looks like they have looks like man coverage they might have set up here. Linebackers drop back for zone. David Dossett, what a catch. Stumbles forward to about the 12-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
He has just been such a big factor early on in this game for Lee Summit. Already 4 receptions for him already. So
That was almost like a good punter's bounce there, the way he just kept stumbling forward and not going down on the stumble.
For sure, and great throw by Elijah Martinez, throwing it up there only where he could get it. 6'4" body, uses it to bring it down, and then continued for another 10 yards, stayed on his feet.
Incredible play there. Another pass. Elijah Martinez pressure and is brought down at the 21. That'll be a sack. Move that first down chain back. William Nweri, a very, very good player. Lots of offers. That'll bring up 2nd and 17 for the Tigers. 30 seconds left in the first quarter.
Looks like they're playing a zone defense here.
Play action. Ball up over the middle and caught. Touchdown Tigers. Flag on the play. I think that might be pass interference though, Pryor.
I believe it's defensive pass interference. Wonder who went down with that ball. Believe it was Josh Manning. It was Josh Manning. Great response there from the Tigers, pinning the penalty, and it looks like it is defensive pass interference here.
Which won't impact the touchdown. Touchdown will stand. Both the receivers for the Tigers, David Dossett and Josh Manning, really showing that they are ballers. I mean, two back-to-back great catches.
What a quick response from the Tigers. You had Jaden Gibson on that massive return there, and then David Dossett and Josh Manning really showing what they can do.
What an electric drive for the Tigers. That absolutely is just a momentum shifter there.
And another great throw there from Elijah Martinez there to set up that play.
Rowan McCarthy out for the PAT.
Against the Broncos. Penalty sets on the kickoff.
PAT is up and right down the middle. 7-7, 20 seconds left in the first quarter, and we have a new ball game, Pryor.
It's really been a battle of the D1 recruits here so far. You had Isaiah Mosey on that touchdown, David Dossett, and then Josh Manning. Really stars showing out here tonight so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, the big names showing why they are the big names and why they're stars. That defensive pass interference penalty will be tacked onto the kickoff.
I'm interested to see if North continues with that run here. They open up the pass again because they really didn't pass the ball at all that last drive until that 3rd and 12 came up and Mosey got the space and really got room for that touchdown. So
agreed. Seeing now that pass is very effective. I mean, that was one play, but it was a touchdown. I wonder if that might lead to more of a passing offense, or I think it'll be a little bit more of a split personally on early downs, trying to get those few yards with the run game and then airing it out towards the later downs.
For sure. And Josh Manning continuing his streak. He's averaging 1 touchdown a game, and there it is right there already in the first quarter. So nothing new from him here tonight.
Looks like the wind blew the ball off the tee, so Rowan McCarthy will have one of his players hold that for him so it doesn't fall. Definitely an interesting job. I would not want to hold a kickoff. I would be nervous of that one, but goes well, and that'll be a touchback for the Tigers. That one past the end zone.
For the Broncos from the 20-yard line.
And this is really going to be a big drive for both teams here, really, to gain momentum. I mean, both teams just really been even so far in this one. So,
yeah, a defensive stop for the Tigers would be huge in terms of momentum for them, and then the Broncos looking to bounce back and score after being scored on so quickly.
For sure.
Trying to put back an answer.
Does not nearly look like that one-sided affair we had last year at Bud Herzog Stadium, that 36-0 defeat.
Yeah, already Tigers have a touchdown on the board.
And they're going to bring Maxwell Ford back out here again.
I think that's the right call if I'm the Broncos. I mean, he played so well that drive he was in. Bring him back out. Run up the middle. Will be brought down after a gain of about 2. That was a different thing we've seen from the Broncos. They tried to bring that one just straight up the middle, try and find a hole there, but the defense closed in on it well.
Yeah, really good defense right there. I believe on the tackle it was Osahan, Mcgovern, and Xander Hall. And this is going to be the end of the first quarter here. And a really even matchup through that first quarter.
Into the first quarter. Pryor, what are some takeaways you've seen so far? I mean, in the 7-7 ball game, it's been an absolute battle so far. What are some good and some bad things you've seen from both teams?
North is definitely owning the line of scrimmage, running the ball here, and you know Lee Summit's going to have to figure a way to stop that. And for Lee Summit, it's really been just air attack, and what they haven't been used to all year. They've been using that read option RPO offense the whole year, and they've really had to implement the pass here tonight, but it's really working out so far with Elijah Martinez, David Dossett, and Josh Manning. So it's really just, like I said, going to be up to the defenses. The defenses have been struggling a little bit in this first half, and it's going to be which one steps up here.
Agreed, but at the same time, I think we've seen both defenses do an excellent job of containing both offenses.
For sure.
With such tools on both sides, or both teams having such a powerful offense, the defenses are playing excellent.
For sure. You saw Eric Potts on that first drive for Lee Summit North get that interception, and then North stopping Lee Summit deep in the red zone on that 4th and 1. So
some very good plays on both sides of the ball for both teams. Great game to watch so far. Lee Summit North will line up from the 24. Looks like 3 receivers out wide for the Broncos. 1 back in the backfield. Man in motion.
Looks like they've been using that I formation most of the game here. Wonder if they continue that.
Handoff left side, makes a man miss, but is brought down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of about 1 on the play. That'll bring it to a 3rd down for the Broncos. 2nd down, excuse me. Or is it 3rd down? It is 3rd down. 3rd and 7 now.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was Max Cates on that tackle right there. Or Braden Sullivan, excuse me. That's 2 big plays here for Sullivan. He stopped that run, the run play right before, and then another run play. He just really gets past that offensive line. So big plays for Lee Summit here.
Pass thrown and overthrown. Pass intended for Yasir Winston, excuse me. Ball just overthrown a little bit. That'll bring up 4th and 7.
Great job there by Lee Summit bringing the pressure there. Throws Maxwell Ford off. Really has to make that play in desperation there.
As we will see the punt team come on for the Broncos.
And every single stop here for Lee Summit is going to be massive going into halftime and really to the end of the game here.
Excuse me, no, they are not punting. They are keeping the offense out there on 4th and 7, deep in their own territory. Do you think this is – oh, it is a punt. They'll take a good roll.
And I believe that was Elijah Leonard on the punt there, the other quarterback. Really good punt there for Lee Summit North.
Agreed. That had me thrown off. It looked like they were set up to play that one as a down, but then they settled with the punt.
A really smart play to throw him off and not allow a return as well.
Yeah. Did have Devin Andrews back there, but punt wasn't really returnable. It was more of a low one that took a great bounce. Ball will be placed on the 25-yard line for the Tigers.
And I want to see if Lee Summit North keeps bringing pressure. I mean, Lee Summit's really exploited it with those throws down the field and that one-on-one coverage here. So I wonder if they back off here.
Agreed. I'm interested to see what happens, especially with how the pass game has been going for the Tigers. And I'm interested to see if the Tigers are going to try and incorporate that run a little bit more, try and throw Lee Summit North off. Play action. Pass up. David Dossett across the field and is brought down at the 35-yard line.
Another amazing throw and catch from Elijah Martinez and David Dossett. David Dossett has just been unstoppable so far in this first half, already his 5th reception on the night. And North bringing the pressure once again. And for Lee Summit North, they're really going to need to switch up this game plan. Lee Summit's really been exploiting it so far.
Agreed. The O-line is doing a great job of stopping that pressure from getting to Elijah Martinez, and he is capitalizing on it, making those passes. Handoff, Devin Andrews bounces out left, showing that speed, and he is tripped up after a gain of 3.
Great job to elude that tackle, and really the first time we've really heard his name here tonight called. Just been really a passing attack so far with Lee Summit with Lee Summit North bringing all that blitz.
2nd and 7 for the Tigers. 3 receivers out wide for the Tigers. 1 back in the backfield. North brings the blitz. Pass, and that is incomplete.
No flag on the field. I believe there was a little bit of miscommunication there between David Dossett and Elijah Martinez.
Yeah, looks like Elijah Martinez was maybe looking for a little bit more of a quicker pass, and David Dossett was not expecting that.
Let's see if Lee Summit can get a little closer here for Rowan McCarthy at least.
3rd and 7. I think we're going to see a pass here to try and convert that to a 1st down. As Devin Andrews will go out of the backfield. Empty backfield.
Wonder if we try to see a screen to Andrews here with Lee Summit with the Broncos bringing that blitz here.
Pressure. Elijah Martinez making a man miss, and he is making people miss everywhere. He is down on the 20-yard line. There's a flag on the play.
There's a helmet on the field near midfield.
See what the penalty call is there, here.
Believe it's going to be illegal hands to the face on Lee Summit North.
I think you might be right, Pryor. I mean, we saw that helmet come off.
Just another back-breaking penalty here for North in the early game here.
Huge conversion there, and a great play by Elijah Martinez to really scramble and show that elusiveness.
And that's exactly why he's so dangerous. He's got over 200 rushing yards on the year, and he's just a playmaker.
Exactly. That play was broken down, pressure in the backfield, and he just, out of the broken play, got us a 1st down on 3rd and 7. Huge conversion.
So hard to guard because he's such an accurate passer, and he's got those legs to create holes for himself and get those 1st downs when needed.
1st and 10 for the Tigers in the red zone now.
Josh Manning and David Dossett out wide.
David Dossett in motion. Elijah Martinez scrambles out right, misses the 1st one, but is brought down. It'll be a loss of about 10 on the play there. Did a good job of making that 1st man miss, but was wrapped up after that quickly.
And that's a massive play here for Lee Summit North after that penalty and that big play.
Almost put them right back where they would have been without the penalty there. Ball on the 21, it looks like.
Really don't hate Elijah Martinez for taking that sack there and just not forcing the ball up for an interception or costly turnover there.
Pass. Elijah Martinez steps up and is sacked again. This North defense really getting through the O-line now and got back to the quarterback twice in a row. That's 2 sacks in a row.
And a massive 3rd and 27 coming up here.
If you're the Tigers, I think you might even see a run here. Try and get some yards for Rowan McCarthy to kick this one up. 3rd and 27, such a long way to go.
Yeah,
that penalty almost bad because it set him up on such a close down. These sacks are hurting him. Ball will be on about the 27, it looks like.
And timeout called.
8 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. I think this is a good timeout. Get your guys, give them a breather after those 2 sacks, and really scheme up a plan to try and at least get half the distance and get Rowan McCarthy in a spot where he can make this field goal.
Yeah, exactly. I believe they're trying to do anything right now besides just to get a loss. You're at the 28-yard line. It's in his range. Anything to move the ball up is just going to help, but really just looking not to turn the ball over here.
I think he's telling his guys, we can't take another sack here and get pushed out of field goal range. Another sack would be critical in terms of this offense.
Exactly. It's been really big plays there for back-to-back plays there for Lee Summit North, moving them all the way back to where they were before Elijah Martinez even scrambled that ball. So
yeah. Offense will take the field here. North still lined up in that bunched up box.
I believe what they're trying to do is wear down that offensive line by blitzing every single time, really get their endurance down.
Agreed. Blitz comes. Pressure, Elijah Martinez scrambles out right, throws the ball, and it is incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 27 for the Tigers.
Smart play just to throw that one away. He didn't have anything there. You're at the 28-yard line, so.
Pass falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Really just showing the maturity he has.
Field goal unit comes on for the Tigers. This will be about a 45-yarder, I believe. Kick is up. And good off the crossbar there. Got it over. What a kick. Showing that range, Rowan McCarthy.
Rowan McCarthy has just really been massive through these first 4 games. He just shows you why he's one of the best kickers in the conference right now.
We'll make the score 10-7 Tigers.
Hit it off that back crossbar, something you usually don't see.
7:49 left in this second quarter. This game's going by quick with North running the ball so much and the clock just not really stopping. This game's been going by very quickly for both sides.
For sure, and I think that's a backbreaker, and it really helps out for both sides. With Lee Summit, you've got the lead right now already 10-7 with 7 minutes left, and then you've also got Lee Summit North. You're running the ball and killing clock. If they get another touchdown, it's really going to help them. So it's really going to come down to whatever team is going to score before halftime with Lee Summit or with North getting the ball at halftime.
Yeah. And if you're Lee Summit, I think you want to try and chew as much of that clock as you can.
Exactly.
Or try to score quickly so you can get the ball back again because, 7 minutes is a lot of time, and it's going to be hard to try and not let that North offense score quickly.
Exactly. This is going to be the biggest drive of the half here for this Tiger defense. And if they can get another stop here, it's going to really set them up nicely. And if they can get more points before halftime, it's going to be best case scenario for them heading into halftime.
Rowan McCarthy set up.
And a flag on the field. And
looks like they're going to move it back for the Tigers.
Penalty is delay a game against the Tigers.
Delay a game on the Tigers there.
don't really see that often on a kickoff.
But I'm moving back 5 yards, kicking off from the 35 now. Should be no problem for Rowan McCarthy to get this one back there with such that powerful leg. We just saw him make that 40-yard field goal. Deep. Return will have to come back. Cuts it left. Has room. And is brought out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. And another electric return for the Broncos that time. We've seen electric returns both sides of the ball here prior.
For sure. And that was Tanner House showing that elusiveness once again. Cutting that to the outside. And for North, is great starting field position already.
Already almost into Tiger territory.
The first and 10 for the Broncos on the 50-yard line. Officials timeout.
Officials will take a timeout. Pryor, what do you think the Tigers need to do to stop this North offense after such a quick scoring possession last time?
I really expect them to keep the same game plan going. They've only allowed seven points so far this half, and it's been really working out well for them. For North, I would keep pounding that rock. They really haven't ran to the left side since the first quarter. That was really working for them, so I expect them to do that on this drive.
Yeah, I think we should see a lot of running from Lee Summit North here as it's been so effective. So we'll see the Maxwell Ford out there for the Broncos.
Tanner Howes in the backfield again here.
Just see another run, bounce out to the right side, cuts in, and is brought down after a gain of what appears to be 6.
Good job by Jimmy Mcgovern there.
Number 31,
to not over pursue there and allow him to get past him, only allowing that 5-yard gain. He could have had a lot more.
Yeah. And senior Jimmy Mcgovern, I mean, he's such a strong presence on that linebacker core with that experience he brings in, being a senior and showing the leadership to these younger classmen and really being a leader on that field.
He's really had a lot of tackles and a lot of big plays on defense throughout the first 4 games. Really been a star out there on defense.
As we see him go back to the run, he's brought up after a gain of about 3 there.
Great tackle there.
And I'll speak on Jimmy Mcgovern. I mean, I've got him in a weights class, and he's a leader in the weight room. He's a leader on the field. Great kid overall, and I mean, he really just has that leader ability and shows what he means business.
He's that dual athlete. He's got that wrestling background as well, so no surprise he plays football.
3rd and 3 for the Broncos. Quick 3rd down, Pryor. I mean, already that's 3rd down. Handoff right side. Tanner Howes will get the 1st down and a little bit more. Brought down at about the 37.
Looks like they've just switched it from the left side to the right side here. Still continuing that same game plan, just switching sides.
And Tanner Howes, he's just so elusive. He's really good at making defenders miss and getting open and finding the holes and running.
Exactly, just like you saw in that kickoff here as he gets a rest on the sidelines.
1st and 10 now. Under 6 minutes in the 2nd quarter.
Looks like one-on-one coverage between Mosey.
Pass, ball up, and incomplete. Ball overthrown just a little bit.
And Maxwell Ford recognized that one-on-one coverage on Isaiah Mosey there. Tried to take the deep shot.
Good defense by Quincy Lewis to interfere with that one a little. I mean, it's hard to guard Isaiah Mosey with how quick and how good his route running is. Great defense there.
For sure. He's just had such a football background with his dad being the head coach and just such a great route runner. And he's not the tallest guy, but he can go up and make those catches as well.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 now for the Broncos. Handoff up the middle. Brought down after about a gain of 1. Great play there on defense to get back to that running back quickly there as they tried to bring that one up the gut.
Really seems when they try to run up the middle here, it's been a problem for Lee Summit North.
Yeah, especially with that interior offensive line. Ozahana, Mcgovern, such a big dude down there and is great at making those tackles in the core of the defense.
You see Tanner House coming back in the game here.
Another 3rd down. It's like 3rd and 10 for the Broncos.
See what they try to dial up here. Big 3rd down for both teams.
Pass across the middle, caught and incomplete. It'll bring up 4th and 10 for the Broncos.
And Maxwell Ford had his man right there. Put it on the money, just couldn't corral it in. And a big stop from Lee Summit as Elijah Leonard will come back in.
Now, I'm curious, Pryor, do you think we'll see a punt, or do you think they might try and go for it a little bit here?
It looks like...
No, it looks like they will bring on the punt unit this time. Punt almost blocked there. Tigers got back to him quickly. So that'll bounce into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Tigers will take it from the 25.
And Braden Sullivan getting past that O-line once again. We've seen that 3 times so far. Almost blocked that punt right there.
That's another thing you don't see too often, Pryor, is a blocked punt. I don't think I've ever seen one of those in high school.
The Tigers are hyped right now. That was a massive stop for them. And they've got time now, 4:57. If I'm them, I milk the clock, take it into halftime, may possibly get 3 or another 7 points here.
So Tigers could score here again. That'd be back-to-back possessions they score, I believe, and that would be very, I mean, just shifting the momentum like we've said. Tigers lead 10-7, barely under 5 minutes left to play.
Looks like they're going to run that same shotgun offense here.
4 receivers out wide. Pass across the middle. David Dossett brings it in. Josh Manning, excuse me. Across the middle there, that'll be a 1st down.
Number 5, Josh Manning.
And they've really covered him well so far this half, besides that one touchdown they gave up. But it's another great catch and throw and catch there by Elijah Martinez and Josh Manning.
Yeah, and like you said, with how good Josh Manning is, they have to guard him, and it's leaving David Dossett open a lot. Because that one will be checked down, makes a man miss, makes another man miss, bounces outside, has room, and is brought down. Josh Manning showing why he is such a good receiver, such a big target, hard to take down. Like we just saw, elusive, made multiple people miss and bounced it outside for another first down for the Tigers.
Another great throw there by Elijah Martinez. Had 3 guys swarmed all around him, got it to Josh Manning, and then Josh Manning making that play. It looks like Lee Summit North still sending the box here. Wonder if they switch it around at halftime. But a lot of time here for Lee Summit.
You want to 4 minutes. And that will be a sack for the Broncos. Good idea on Elijah Martinez. Just go down there, not risk a fumble or interception on a tipped pass.
And really risk injury, too.
Yeah.
Smart for him, his health, and then the team as well.
Yeah. That'll bring up 2nd and 15 for the Tigers.
Let's see if that offensive line can hold here. Been pretty good in this first half, other than the 2 sacks in the last drive and then 1 right there. Seems to be the biggest problem for Lee Summit's offense here in the first half, because other than that, it's been running really smoothly.
Agreed. And that north defensive line is so good. A little bit of a jump there, but nothing called. Elijah Martinez trips, makes a man miss, but is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Another sack. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 18.
Looks like that pressure's starting to get to him there.
Like you said earlier, Pryor, I think this North defense is just trying to blitz and wear that offensive line down, and it looks like it might be working. I mean, that's 4 sacks and 2 drives.
Exactly. And I want to see if they send the blitz here on this 3rd and 15, or they play zone and just not allow any big plays downfield like we've seen.
David Dossett on that left side. Josh Manning and Augie Sanson on the right. Devin Andrews in the backfield. Devin Andrews in motion. Play is blown dead.
It's either going to be a false start or offsides here.
Looks like we have
maybe a timeout.
Timeout called there by the Tigers. Their 2nd of the half.
And I think that's smart.
Remaining.
I think that's smart just to get the offensive line some rest here after those 2 sacks.
Agreed. Really make sure you have the play you want on 3rd and 16.
And you still save 1 timeout in case you do get the first down. You still got 2 minutes and 45 seconds here, so really a smart timeout there by Coach Thomas.
Agreed. The problem here is if we can get this first down, that'll be great for us and can set us up to try and run this clock down a little bit, not give North the ball back. But with where we're at right now, it's looking like we might give North the ball back with plenty of time to score, and then they get the ball back at the 3rd quarter.
Exactly. The one thing you want to do if you're Lee Summit here is keep the ball inbounds and keep that clock running, because you do not want an incomplete pass to stop that clock and give North more time.
Agreed. And 2 minutes, 45 seconds is plenty of time to work with for this Tiger offense. I mean, we've seen them score in 30 seconds, so we'll have to see what they come out in here. 4 receivers out wide for the Tigers.
Trio set on that right side.
See that formation a lot for the Tigers. Devin Andrews goes out for a pass. Devin Andrews targeted, makes a man miss, but is brought down after about a gain of 4 or 5.
And really, defenses have been showing up here these last 2 drives for both sides as we get closer to halftime here. And it was really smart play by Devin Andrews to go down and avoid
Matthew
injury
Banhart
there.
Will come out for the punt.
And keep that clock moving.
Broncos will call us their 2nd timeout of the quarter.
Forces Lee Summit North to take a timeout.
4th and 10. I think we're going to see the punt team come on. Broncos will have 2 minutes, 38 seconds left. That's a lot of time left on the clock.
And what a half it's been for Lee Summit so far in this first half. I mean, up 10-7 on the number 6 team in the state. Just really showing what they're all about here and how they've improved over last year's loss.
Yeah, I mean, this is a completely different game than we saw last year. I mean, 10-7 is a much closer game than 36-0 prior. I mean, so far we've seen the Tigers staying in this one, and they're leading.
And Tigers have played a really clean game so far. I believe
Yeah.
only maybe none or at least one penalty on them so far.
Yeah, that's another trend we haven't seen continue so far this week is, I mean, those penalties. They've been kicking our butts, but so far we haven't seen too many of those tonight.
And really the last 3 games, they had around, I think they had 15 penalties in that Blue Springs South game, but the last 2 games have been really, really clean, and it continues here tonight. So there's another timeout.
Great, and it shows how much those penalties mean. I mean, how much the penalties can affect a game. When you don't make the penalties, you're able to hold them on defense, and you have a better chance to stop them.
And North burning another timeout here, and that's really going to not help them going into halftime.
That is their third of the
here.
half. Yeah, no timeouts left. 2 minutes 38 seconds. Probably, like I was saying, I mean, that North team has penalties tonight that have really shown that it's moved the Tigers up into the red zone into scoring position, and the Tigers have capitalized on it.
Exactly, and they had that one on a massive holding call on that touchdown as well that didn't count.
Yeah.
So
That was one of the first plays of the game, and it was a almost 40-yard touchdown that was brought back due to a holding call.
it's not a normal thing you see from this team. I mean, the team's so complete, the number 6 team in the state, really well coached. Areas you don't really see like that.
Matthew Banhart back there to punt this one away. Punt is up. Takes a great bounce for the Tigers. What a punt by Matthew Banhart there. That'll roll down at about the 7-yard line.
Matthew Banhart's had a really good season so far punting that ball.
From the 6-yard line.
We're at a 40-yard punt right there, and that's really going to help out Lee Summit's defense,
Yeah, putting them so back in Lee Summit North territory.
especially with North having 0 timeouts, too, for the rest of this half.
And with how they've been playing offense so far with that run game, that might be a problem with the clock staying running if they keep running the ball.
Exactly. Might have to switch the pass game here. We still haven't seen too much of Xavier Winston. I believe he still is catchless in this one.
Maxwell Ford, quarterback, out for the Broncos. Man in motion.
It's Isaiah Mosey in motion there.
It'll be a screen. Cuts it outside, cuts it back in, and is brought down after about a gain of 10.
Maxwell Ford's pass is
Good job by Lee Summit making sure he stays in bounds there. Not stop the clock, keep that clock moving as we head down to 2
So a gain
minutes
of about
before the
8.
half.
It'll be a 2nd and 2. Under 2 minutes to play now. Pass, another quick, and dropped. Almost an interception. Oh my goodness. That would have set the Tigers up in great field position.
That was a great read there.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
jumped the
couldn't
route there.
come up with a pick right there, but
And that's a tough pick. I mean, in that moment, you know that if you catch that, you're setting your team up for great field positioning. And it was a great job of the defender to jump the route there. And
I believe that
get
was
in front of
Landon
that.
Barnett the last right there. Last week he had a massive pick 6 in that Blue Springs South win, and he read that route perfectly. He's really been improving, and you can just see it over these last couple games here. Let's see what North does on this 3rd and 1.
Tigers showing blitz. Handoff out left. Keeps it in bounds. Hit hard. Will be a 1st down for the Broncos.
clear house with the carry. Tackle was made by number 31, Jimmy Mcgovern. 1st and 10 for the Broncos.
Great job by House to elude those defenders right there. There's a lot of Tigers right there, but
Made
got
a few
past it,
missed,
made
but
that
then he
1st down,
brought
made the play
Yeah.
count.
Yeah. Clock is still running. Pass. Ball thrown, overthrown, incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Broncos.
Complete. 2nd down and 10.
That's a trend we have seen a little bit is Maxwell Ford trying to put a little bit too much air under it and trying to lead his receiver just a little bit too much. And a few of these passes have been
It's
overthrown.
the 2nd time he's thrown Isaiah Mosey working on Max Cates right there, and Max Cates playing great coverage on him so far.
Yeah, and on such a tough receiver, I mean, we've seen him playing great defense.
Isn't allowing him to beat him on those one-on-ones. Really just sticking with him.
Minute 25 left on the clock. Clock not running.
With a shotgun formation.
Ball overthrown again. 3rd and 10 for the Broncos. This is a tough spot. You got to convert this here.
Some more really good defense by the Tigers. And let's see what they try to dial up here on this 3rd and 10 deep in their own territory at the 22-yard line.
They converted on the last 3rd down, but it was a 3rd and 1, so a lot different yardage here. But on the 22-yard line.
This is a really big play here for Lee Summit with that 1 timeout left for the minute 21. You get a whole nother offensive drive here if you make the stop right here.
Pryor, if you're the Broncos, if it gets to 4th down, what are you doing? Are you going for it here? Quick pass, and that will be incomplete, which brings up that 4th down. Pryor, if you're Lee Summit North, what are you doing here?
I think you got a punt here. You're deep in your own territory. There's just no reason to risk it right now with a minute 18 left before halftime. And you saw Maxwell Ford trying to go for Isaiah Mosey there again. He was double covered
Punt
on the sideline.
Looks like it'll come on for Lee Summit North.
And be Elijah Leonard here.
Elijah Leonard, I mean, he's their other quarterback, and we've seen him punt 1 out of this formation, but we could see him go for it. Looks like he will go for the punt, but it is blocked. Gonna return it. Stiff arms him and is brought down around the 27.
I believe that was Max Cates that caught the ball there. And that is a massive play for Lee Summit.
A minute 10 on the 27-yard line.
And that
great opportunity here.
That changes the whole complexion of this offensive drive completely. The 29-yard line here, almost in the red zone with a timeout and a minute 10 left. You got all the time in the world here.
I think if you're the Tigers, I think you at least got to get 3 points on the board here.
Exactly.
I think you can't risk a turnover. Might be smart to just get the ground game established. This is when we can see Devin Andrews try and pick up a few yards or some quick, just short check down passes and really try and
this is going to be a really crucial possession for that offensive line here. They're really going to need to buckle up here.
Pass, quick pass, and it is incomplete. Intended for David Dossett. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
Throwing a little bit behind him.
There's a penalty flag on the play. Looks like the Tigers might be walking backwards. See what the call is here. False start on the Tigers, that'll go back.
And that's a big penalty. So that moves them back to the 34-yard line here.
Illegal procedure.
Near the edge of Rowan McCarthy's range here, so.
I think for the Tigers, you just got to try and get a few yards here. I mean, 1st and 15, still 1st down, so you've got downs to work with, but
still got that timeout as well.
There. Yeah. Minute 7 left on the clock. Pass, tipped, and intercepted, I think.
I believe they are going to call it an interception here.
And they do rule it an interception. Minute 2 left on the clock. I mean, in 5 seconds prior, we just saw a turnover happen. That's how fast things can happen in football. I mean, we just saw Tigers get a crazy play where they blocked a punt and had great field positioning, but then North got it right back with the tipped pass interception.
Like I said, both defenses just showing up late here in this first half. Out of nowhere, not allowing anything going down, and now it changes the complexion once again. You got a minute 2 left for North. Let's see what they can do.
No timeouts. They were unsuccessful so far. Tigers have safeties deep. I think that's a good idea. Pass play, check down, overthrown. Target intended for Tanner Howes there.
I believe that's the 4th or 5th overthrow we've seen from Maxwell Ford here in this second quarter. Still trying to get those jitters out.
And I think it might, I don't even think it's a problem of pressure getting to the quarterback. I think it's just that fear of the offense. I mean, that defensive line on the Tigers is working, trying to get back there to that backfield.
For sure.
We'll see an empty backfield for the Broncos.
5 out wide.
Pass caught, and he managed to get out of bounds. It'll be a first down for the Broncos out around the 44-yard line.
Really big play for the Broncos, getting out of bounds there and stopping the clock.
First and 10 for the Broncos.
Let's see what they try to dial up here. Go with that 5 wide again as the clock is running now down to 40 seconds.
Thought the receiver might have managed to get out of bounds there, but it looks like the Tigers kept him in bounds. Pass, has time, looks across the middle and is caught. Tackled around the 36. Broncos hurrying up.
They're really going to need to hurry up going down to the end of this first half, try to get a field goal at least and try to tie this game.
The Broncos will spike that to stop the clock. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos after the spike.
And 2 back-to-back massive plays there for the Broncos to get them set up near field goal position.
Pass is down. 2nd down and 10.
Get them to tie this game. The offense talks about it. .28 seconds left in this first half.
No timeouts, and you got to be careful for the Broncos here. You don't want to run timeout.
The biggest
Gotta
thing
be
for
careful.
biggest thing for the Broncos is staying in bounds and not getting a first down. That takes time off the clock.
Pass, looks down the middle, and it is brought in. Receiver tackled around the 20. Clock is running for the Broncos.
Down to 22 seconds here. Now you're looking at a touchdown as they're going to spike it again. Now you're within striking distance with 18 seconds left. Might try to take a shot at the end zone here.
Agreed. Got a little bit more room to work with here and try and play with something and get a touchdown.
And
Go up at half.
Maxwell Ford putting together a very well drive for him.
Very quick drive, too. I mean, they are marching down the field right now. 18.9 on the clock. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos from the 20-yard line.
See if that defense can hold for just another 18 seconds. Get into halftime.
Another pass, a little bit of pressure, and pass incomplete towards that right side.
Try to get it to that sideline there to get out of bounds.
Be 3rd down and
Really well defended there by Lee Summit.
3rd and 10 for the Broncos. It's a big 3rd down. A stop here would bring 4th down, and if it gets to 4th down, are you going for it, or do you take your 3 points and tie it up?
You've got to take the 3 points with 14 seconds left, no timeouts.
I agree. Get that game to 10-10, get the ball back at half. It's a new ball game, whole another half of football to play.
Crowd really ramping up here for this 3rd down.
Pass, left side, 50-50 ball, and overthrown incomplete.
Another really good one-on-one coverage there for the Tigers with 9 seconds left now, and that'll force North to bring out their field goal unit, I believe.
Which looks like they will come out. And I think this is the safe play for the Broncos. Secure that 3, make it 10-10, tie it up, new ball game at half. You get the ball to start.
For sure, and for the Broncos, you can't allow another blocked kick. You saw that blocked punt earlier.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want a blocked field goal here going into halftime.
The special teams for the Tigers is working on that. Getting back there and putting some pressure on the punter and kicker. Kick is up, and it is good. 10-10 with 5.5 left in the 2nd quarter.
That is a big score there for Lee Summit North to tie this game up at halftime. 5 seconds remaining.
It is enough time to get a return, Pryor. And we have guys on this team that can do it. Jaden Gibson with that almost 50-yard return. Josh Manning was, I believe, an all-conference kick returner last year.
And don't forget about Max Cates as well.
Those 3 guys have the chance.
And I believe for Lee Summit, this is a win going into halftime. I mean, even with the score still tied 10-10, Lee Summit North was massive favorites coming into this one, and they've really showed that they're not a joke to be played with.
Agreed. I think it's been a great game so far to watch. And I mean, I really don't think the Tigers can be beating themselves up for this one. I mean, 10-10 going into half.
Played a really
Defense
clean.
has been playing good, and with the Broncos getting the ball at half, I mean, I think I've got trust in my defense.
I believe what's really helped them out here is the penalties.
Yeah.
Really no penalties for Lee Summit in this half, and it's really helped them with this tie game with one of the best teams in the state.
If you're the Broncos on this kickoff, you might squib it, and we do see a squib. Tipped, catches it, gets hit hard. 3.1 left on the clock. I think we'll see the Tigers probably just kneel this one out.
David Dossett trying to get that ball. As soon as he got that ball picked up, got hit, though, by the defender.
Tipped it on the squib there as it took a pretty crazy bounce.
And I agree with you, Nolan. I believe they're just going to kneel this one and go into halftime.
Yeah, being back in your own territory, you don't want to risk a fumble or an interception that could lead to a touchdown and give them extra points before the half.
And what a game this has been so far. Really even matchup for both teams. Just defense is really stepping up towards the end of the half there. And for Maxwell Ford, massive drive going into halftime for him.
And we do see the kneel come out. That'll take us into halftime. 10-10. Pryor, this has been a great game so far. I mean, what have you seen from the offense that has been great so far?
Well, for Lee Summit North, they're really going to need to figure out how to stop Josh Manning and David Dossett. That duo has just been going crazy with Elijah Martinez here tonight. And for Lee Summit, it's really stopping the run game and then limiting those big pass plays that we saw go down the stretch there that allowed North to tie this game up at half. So really just been an even game so far, and expect more fun in the second half.
Agreed. I mean, we have a whole other half of football to play, and I can't say I'm not excited to watch what happens. Such a good game so far. Both sides of the defense playing very well, like we've seen. And with that being said, we will take it into halftime, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Start off, before we get into this, we have a minute 50 left before play will resume. We've got some halftime scores for you. Belton is down 3. North Kansas City is winning with 16. Lee Summit West is losing 6-19 against Staley. Park Hill South is losing 7-27 against Liberty North. Blue Valley Northwest is winning 27 against Blue Valley, 24. Liberty is winning 28-7 against Park Hill. And Pryor, what do you think are going to be some key takeaways that both teams need to do well to start this half off better?
Well, really, North is going to need to limit the penalties on defense with those offsides, and they really did down the stretch of the second half. But really, for Lee Summit, it's going to be not allowing those big plays to Isaiah Mosley, like we saw that touchdown, and then we also saw that massive drive down the field for them to tie the game going into the halftime. So, I mean, really, it's and also for Lee Summit North, it's really going to be really stopping Josh Manning and David Dossett, and they've really just been all over Lee Summit North's secondary tonight.
Yeah, like you said, that last drive the Broncos had was very quick, and they managed to get down the field in plenty of time. But once they got in the red zone, they were having a little bit of trouble keeping up with that Tiger defense. I think if the Tigers can keep them at bay, we'll be seeing a much better game. "30 seconds left for resume play. Both teams anxious to get this underway, I imagine, as this has been such a high-intensity game, such an energetic game we've seen so far from both sides.
And a really surprising score for most people. I mean, most people thought Lee Summit North was just going to walk in here and really just take this game really easily. But Lee Summit's holding their own here through this first half and really played a great first half. Especially Elijah Martinez, who they were blitzing most of the time here and really got that ball out quick to his receivers and really showed that he's a versatile quarterback.
Yeah, and we got to give some credit to that offensive line for holding up against that blitz against such a strong defensive line with so much talent on it. The offensive line is really turning up. Tigers will start with the ball at half.
This is going to be a big possession for both sides, setting the tone for the second half.
As that will go out of bounds.
I believe it was in the end zone, so they're going to call it touchback.
I think it might have got over the pylon there. So that'll be a touchback instead of a penalty. So the Tigers will start on the 25-yard line.
And I wonder if Lee Summit North's going to still set that box here and try to get that offensive line
worn down some more. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what Lee Summit North wants to do. Looks like they are going to load the box up again and try and get those blitzes.
And I expect to see some more of Devin Andrews in this game in the second half. Really only had 2 touches in that first half. Been really quiet, and he's been really a big part of this Lee Summit offense through these first 4 games.
Agreed. We haven't heard much of him tonight. I mean, it's been a very air-heavy game for the Tigers.
Especially due to them stacking the box and blitzing so hard like we haven't seen a team play Lee Summit yet.
Speaking of it, there's the run up the middle. Good for a gain of about 1 there. Tried to cut that one up the middle, but was brought down.
Tackle made by number 22, Cade Williams. 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 9 for the Tigers.
Cade Williams is a guy to keep an eye on in the second half. Didn't really have a big first half, but he had 10 tackles last week and then went over Staley.
3 receivers out wide for the Tigers. Devin Andrews in motion. Flags on the play. We'll see a false start here.
Flag is down.
Pretty sure that was on Lee Summit North. Defensive lineman jumped there, it looked like. See what the call is here.
And it is going to be an offsides.
It is.
The 5th offsides penalty against the Broncos. And really not what you wanted coming out of halftime. I'm sure Coach Shamar Mosey was talking to them about that halftime, and see it once again there.
Really telling his guys that these penalties are hurting us. I mean, that brings this 2nd and 9 to a 2nd and 4, which is a much more manageable down.
And now we're going to get a false start on the Tigers.
Really bringing that one back. That'll bring it back to 2nd and 9. Playing a little bit of back and forth with the offsides penalties there.
I believe that's the 1st or 2nd penalty we've seen against Lee Summit the whole night, so let's hope that's not a sign in the second half here for things to come.
Play action. Quick pass to David Dossett. Goes up and gets it. What a catch. First down for the Tigers on an incredible catch.
Just really showing his size and why he's got a D1 offer from Arkansas State right there. Really just went up over the defender, and another perfectly placed pass by Elijah Martinez we've seen going up against David Dossett and allowing him to get that ball.
Yeah, and I think we're giving David Dossett a lot of credit, but those throws by Elijah Martinez are super good. I mean, making it to where only his receivers can get up to it and make a play on it.
And another offsides on Lee Summit North.
1st and 5 for the Tigers. Ball on the 38-yard line.
See if they try to go in tempo here.
Devin Andrews in motion, empty backfield. Steps up. One misses, but is brought down after a quick gain of about 2.
Smart play there by Elijah Martinez to at least get some yardage.
Second and 4 for the Tigers. Very manageable down.
Keep going in motion here.
Handoff, tries to bounce it outside, but is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage.
And there's Cade Williams once again on that tackle.
Tackle by number 22.
Really starting to come out in the second half.
Loss of about 5 on the play. Bring it back to 3rd and 9. Big third down for the Tigers here already coming out of halftime.
Let's see if they try to go for Josh or David again.
Looks like we're going to have an empty backfield for the Tigers here. Devin Andrews out there to receive. 5 wide for the Tigers.
I believe Norse looks like they're going to blitz again.
O-line picks it up well, has Devin Andrews open. Jukes one guy. Looks like the ball might have came loose, but they're going to rule him down. He recovered it.
They marked him around.
They're not going to give him forward progress, I don't think. It's going to bring up a 4th and about 1.
All right, Nolan, I got to ask. The second half just started. If this is a 4th down, what are you doing?
If they rule this a 4th down, I think you go for it, really. I mean, try and set the energy high. And they are going to rule
give him the first down.
In that scenario, though, I think I would have went with a run to Devin Andrews. I know they stopped that once before, but Devin Andrews is so good on the ground game. I think you got to trust your guys there.
And I believe he's going to be a big factor in the second half with screens and also running out of the backfield in the motion. And what a great job by him to stay on his feet and elude the tackler and fight for that first down.
As he goes out to receive again, a little check down route. Check down, Grant Thomas. Jukes one guy. Good for a gain of about 5 on the play there.
Great job by Grant Thomas right there, fighting for that extra yardage. Great gain of 7 there.
Good job to have a little move to make one man. Kind of got him with a little shimmy.
Lee Summit taking their time here. Really haven't seen them run a whole bunch of hurry up yet. Not trying to catch North on their feet.
Keeper, right side. Be good for a first down.
I believe they're going to
Looks
mark
like they're
him
going
a
to rule
yard
him
short.
It's going to be 3rd and about a yard.
Brings up 3rd down and 1.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see a run here, Pryor.
Brandon Hill on that tackle there. Big multi-sport athlete. Big baseball player. He plays for the Kansas City Royal Scout team. Multi-dual athlete here. And the sophomore getting his first start tonight. And it's the first time we've really seen a read option being called.
Pass, quick pass to David Dossett. Brings it in for a first down. Fights for a few extra yards. Pushed out of bounds at about the 39-yard line.
Seems like North hasn't figured out David Dossett yet.
Ball into Bronco territory.
Just another great throw by Elijah Martinez, throwing it where he knew David was going to be to catch that ball.
Yeah, and I think the communication tonight for the offense is just really there. I mean, they're connecting on all these passes with precision and speed. I mean, great route by David Dossett, overthrown and almost a great one-handed catch there.
Just a tad bit overthrow by Elijah Martinez. Great job by the offensive line there to give him time to heave that ball downfield. Really great protection there.
And the route running there by David Dossett, I mean, that double move absolutely had the defender fooled and almost brought that ball in. But
and I'm almost surprised. I'm almost surprised that Lee Summit North is still playing one-on-one on David Dossett, because he has just been absolutely all over their secondary here tonight.
I agree. That is a little surprising. I mean, I think if you're him, you got to put a safety over the top and really try and eliminate those big plays. But that with the box crowded like they have it, it leaves the linebackers trying to guard him, but they can't cover him as Elijah Martinez will scramble forward for about 4 yards.
And Lee Summit looks to get, I'd say, another 3 or 4 yards here to get in Rowan McCarthy's field goal range here. Be pretty big for them here.
3rd and 7. Ball on the 38-yard line.
And what Lee Summit's also been doing on this drive is also wasting that clock. We're already almost halfway through this 3rd quarter here, with Lee Summit North not even seeing the ball yet. Let's see what they can do on this 3rd down.
Pass, quick pass. Josh Manning with the reception there. That'll be a Tiger 1st down. And Pryor, like you said, running the play, stayed in bounds on that play, I believe. So the clock will keep chewing, just ticking down.
Just really great, smoothly ran drive here so far for Lee Summit. And doing exactly what they want to do is limit from Lee Summit North getting the ball back and methodically moving the ball downfield.
3 receivers, 1 back in the backfield. Pass across the middle and tipped by Lee Summit North. That'll be incomplete pass.
Risky pass right there. One of the only really risky passes we've seen tonight from Elijah Martinez. I think he was going for Josh Manning right there.
I think it was just a little underthrown. Josh kind of beat the man, and the ball was just a little underthrown into that gap, so then the defender was able to jump up and bat that one down. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 25-yard line. If you're the Tigers, I don't think there's any need to worry here. I mean, you've got plenty of time, plenty of downs still.
Exactly. They're still playing press coverage, it looks like.
Play action keeper. It'll go for about 3 yards up the middle.
What we've really seen so far on this 1st drive is Elijah Martinez run that read option, which we didn't see a whole lot of in the 1st half, just passing the ball. And that could be a big factor going down the stretch here, and add another weapon for Lee Summit's offense is his feet.
Already, yeah, we've seen a lot of that RPO, which is usually what we're used to seeing in our offensive drives for the Tigers. Seeing it a lot more in the 2nd half.
And let's see if they can convert on another 3rd down here.
3rd and 7, 4 receivers out wide. Devin Andrews stays back to block. Ball, touchdown, Tigers, David Dossett.
What a great route. What a great route by David Dossett there to get open. Juke the defender left. And what a start to the 2nd half for the Tigers. Wasted more than half the clock in this 3rd quarter already without Lee Summit North even seeing the ball so far.
I think if Lee Summit can keep this up, that's a great thing to have going for them. It's burning that clock and allowing the defense to stay on the sideline and really making that Lee Summit North offense wait to get the ball, which is where they've got a lot of
and he missed the extra point.
Extra point is no good.
16-10, 5:32 left in the 3rd quarter. Rowan McCarthy, normally good on those, but it's never to say nobody's perfect.
What a drive though from Lee Summit though on the 1st half in the 1st drive of the half, really setting the tone there, getting 2 massive 3rd down conversion, 3rd and 7s, and David Dossett continues to torch this Broncos secondary here.
He's really showing he's a force to be reckoned with tonight. He came to play, and he is showing it. Ron McCarthy's out there to boot this one away.
Let's see if they can limit a big return here. I believe they have Isaiah Mosey and Tanner Howes to receive the kick. Tanner Howes had that one big kick return in that second quarter.
A big kick return would definitely be electric for the Broncos and really get that offense fired up and ready to play. This is the first time that offense is going to get the ball for the Broncos in this half.
And Howes will get on the 1 yard line.
Tries to go up the middle with it. Runs into a cluster and is brought down around the 17-yard line. Looked like he tried to go up the middle, but just kind of ran into his own blockers there.
Really good job by that special teams unit there.
Ball on the 20. Both teams huddling up. What do you think the coach is telling the Tigers defense here, Pryor?
Really just stick to that same game plan in the first half, but just limit those big pass plays that just really killed them down the stretch. That allowed them to get that field goal going into halftime.
Yeah, Pryor, I think if this Tiger offense can, or Tiger defense, excuse me, can try and get some pressure on the quarterback and limit those big pass plays.
And I wonder what quarterback. I wonder what quarterback's going to come out here for Lee Summit North here. We saw Maxwell Ford most of that first half.
It looks like he'll come back out for the Broncos.
Surprised we haven't seen much of Elijah Leonard here. Besides on those punts. It's like Lee Summit's playing man here to start it out, and they're going in shotgun.
Screen pass. Has some room to work with. Pushed out of bounds after a gain of 12.
Trying to get Isaiah Mosey in this one. We haven't heard too much of him besides that one touchdown he had. They're trying to get him active early in the second half.
Quick first down for the Broncos already.
Still haven't heard Xavier Winston's name called tonight. Let's see if they try to go towards him.
Has time, deep pass, has a man open and has room, and touchdown Broncos.
And Tanner Howes on that wheel route. Miscommunication on the defense led to that massive touchdown, and what a response from North.
Quick touchdown, which is what we were saying we don't want to see come out from the Tiger defense, is letting up those big pass plays.
It's exactly what you wanted to limit coming into the second half, and it comes to bite the Tigers once again. And I feel like this game is just really going to come down to what defense really wants this more. Seems like an offensive battle like we predicted so far in this game.
Extra point is good. Tigers trail 16-17.
And what a throw by Maxwell Ford. Threw it right on the money in stride to Tanner Howes. We saw him struggle in the first half a little bit with overthrows a little bit.
That one was right on the money. I mean, he put that right in the breadbasket.
And I believe so. Lee Summit's drive was around 7 minutes long, and then North comes right back out, scores in 1 minute. So
yeah, huge difference in time there. I mean, 7 minutes to 1 minute. 5 minutes left to play in the third quarter.
And let's see if Lee Summit still tries to kill that clock. Really haven't been under pressure so far in this game. Now down for, I believe, the second time in this one.
Only 1 point, so field goal could put us back in the lead.
Line drive kick.
There. And they will say that one went out of bounds, so that'll put the ball on the 35-yard line for the Tigers.
Good starting field position here for Elijah Martinez and company. Just something you can't have on a kickoff unit is kicking it out of bounds.
Yeah, such an easy mistake to avoid, and I mean, it gives the offense a very good starting field position already. And after an offensive drive like the Tigers had last drive, you don't want to go back to that and give them good starting position. We'll have to see what these Broncos are going to do against David Dossett. He has been so elite tonight. I mean, showing his route running is just
looks like
off
they're
the charts.
going to continue to press the box here and play plus coverage.
Intercepted. Has a little bit of room. Cade Williams on the interception and is brought down at about the 17-yard line.
And Cade
We
Williams.
have the ball.
Cade Williams fumbled.
Tigers
It's C.J.
running.
Schaefer running it. Still going.
Not really sure what's happening. It looks like C.J. Schaefer got the ball.
Refs
off
haven't
the
made a signal yet.
interception. I think there was a whistle that blew it dead, but I'm not 100% sure. The Tiger sideline's walking back
I
towards.
believe they're going to rule him down. Still waiting on a ruling here. What a bizarre play.
That's
Not something you really
this
see
game,
too
Pryor.
often.
I mean,
You think it's an interception going the other way, and then all of a sudden you see an offensive lineman pick it up, run a good 50 yards.
Yeah, 50 yards. A lot of oddities we've seen in this game, Pryor. I mean, we had the ripped jersey,
The block
big
punt.
man, the block punt, the big man run.
So what's the ruling? Refs still discussing. Give props to C.J. Schaefer on that run. Big man running 50 yards. They're going to rule a Tiger ball.
Tiger ball. What?
What a turn of events for the Tigers.
That's great football IQ by C.J. Schaefer to know that ball was not dead. I mean, he stayed in that play, picked that ball up, and brought it all the way down there.
Well, you pick it up no matter what.
They do not give him the yards, but he did recover the fumble, it looks like, so.
No, I believe if an offensive lineman picks it up, he can't advance with the ball. So
Agreed.
heads up play though by C.J. Schaefer to pick up that ball. And what a crucial break for the Tigers.
Ball on the 17-yard line. 1st and 10, though, for the Tigers. A little bit of miscommunication for the Tigers after that play. Looks like we might have a delay of game here. And we do have a delay of game, which hurts to see after that. Or we take a timeout to avoid the delay of game penalty.
I think we just need a timeout to calm everything down after what just happened. I mean, I think everybody's just amped up after what just transpired.
Bizarre play.
Well, what a great play by Cade Williams to pick that off, but Lee Summit's offensive line just staying in there and forcing that fumble, and then C.J. Schaefer picking it up and running good 60 yards downfield. So
Already just 4 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter.
What haven't we seen in this game, Leonard?
This has been a quick quarter, Pryor. I mean, there's already under 5 minutes left to play.
And I believe Lee Summit's just going to continue to milk that clock. And this is a big drive for Lee Summit.
I think Lee Summit's going to try and limit getting that North offense on the field. Keep the ball in our offense's hands.
One-on-one.
50-50 ball, Josh Manning, and it is overthrown. Incomplete.
Pass ball is incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
No flag on the play.
We're still looking
Trying
for
to
the owner of the gray
trying to exploit that one-on-one defense once again. And we're still not doubling up Josh Manning and David Dossett.
But you have to give props to the North cornerbacks. I mean, playing great defense on two stellar receivers.
For sure. Really hard to ask to cover two 6'3" and above receivers.
Keeper here, cuts it outside, has room. is brought down after a gain of about 2 or 3.
This is going to be a crucial third down here for Lee Summit. CJ Schaefer runs back on the field after that long run, getting a breather.
Third down and 5.
Third down and 5.
Norse crowd really getting into it here. Let's see what Lee Summit has dialed up.
Man in motion. Elijah Martinez scrambling and throws it away. It'll be 4th and 5. There's a penalty on the play.
Flag.
See what the call is here.
Offense staying on the field.
Looks like that will be against the Tigers.
Smart play by Elijah Martinez, just throw that one away. Still early here, you still have a whole nother quarter left. And the offense is staying on the field on 4th and 5. Oh no, they're gonna bring on the...
4th down and 5.
4th down and 5, here comes the punt team. Matthew Banhart back there to punt this one away.
Just the second time we've heard his name called tonight.
Which is another thing the Tigers are doing a great job of, is keeping their punters off the field. I mean, only the second time we've had him on the field. Punt is up. It's hanging. Took a bad bounce. Penalty
Waiting
on
on
the
a
play.
signal. Might have roughed the punter here.
Penalty flag is down.
I believe that's going to be on the Tigers. Might be a personal foul.
Still waiting on the ruling.
See what the ruling is. Looks like there was 2 penalties on the play. I believe they're going to offset.
Penalty is pass interference, fair catch interference against the Tigers.
A costly penalty for the Tigers. After a
Believe-
short punt, rare short punt there by Matthew Banhart. Don't see too much of that.
Yeah. Lee Summit North with great starting position.
Let's see how that defense responds after giving up that massive touchdown to Tanner Howes. Quincy Baker in the backfield.
Handoff, cuts it left, jukes him, but stays with him, makes the tackle.
Ball carrier is number 24, Quincy Baker. Tackle was made by number 23, Quincy Lewis. 1st and 10 for the Broncos.
A little bit first down for the Broncos.
Already inside the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 28. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Slowing down a little bit on the rate we were going.
I believe they're going to try to keep running that ball to that left side here. Cut it back to the right side,
See a
actually.
counter, cuts it back inside. Brought down after about a gain of 9 or 10.
Quincy Baker with the carry.
And that offensive line starting to mow down the Lee Summit's defensive line here.
1st and 10 for the Broncos.
It'll be a first down for the Broncos inside the red zone here. Yes, inside the red zone on about the 17-yard line.
See if they keep trying to pound this rock or go to the air attack here.
I think we see another run here with how effective it's been these last 2 plays. And it's first down, so you have downs to work with. See a run, cuts it right, has room, bounces off a guy, and touchdown Broncos. The run to the right side.
And what a drive for that Lee Summit North offensive line right there. really just own the Tigers' defensive line on that possession.
They started with a good field position, and I think it would have mattered only a little bit. I mean, they were marching down the field with the run game being so effective against our defense.
Extra point will make it an 8-point game.
It is good. Tigers trail 16-23. 24-16, sorry. 2:51 left to play in the third. Lots of time left in this ball game, Pryor.
Well, I mean, for the Tigers offense right now, this has got to be a massive possession for them, and if they're going to score right now, they've got to right now.
Yeah.
Lee Summit North, the Broncos smell blood in the water right now.
If their defense keeps that pressure on us, I mean, that interception that got turned over, but I mean, that's showing they started to read what was going to go down and got a good jump on the ball.
.251 left in this third quarter. Been a really quick third quarter so far. Doesn't seem like much has happened, but see how Lee Summit responds.
Touchback.
First and 10 for the
Give the Tigers a clean slate here to start on offense. New set of downs, ready to come out. They got to prove on this drive that they're still in this game and they can march down the field.
And they might have to mix it up a little bit. Lee Summit North on that last drive looked like they kind of figured them out with that interception and the fumble and then making them punt.
Which we haven't seen a whole lot of tonight. I mean, Lee Summit Tigers have been pretty dominant on offense, moving the chains well, but North's defense a tough force to move the ball on. Under pressure, scrambles up the middle. Gain of 2 on the play. Good job on Elijah Martinez.
Had a scramble on that one.
Yeah, get out of
the pocket collapsed.
Second down and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 for the Tigers. 3 receivers out wide on the left side for the Tigers.
Lee Summit North still sending that blitz.
Play action. Ball might have been muffed. It'll be a sack on Elijah Martinez.
I believe that was Desir Winston. Alex Dock on the tackle.
Third down and 12.
3rd and 12 for the Tigers.
And this is a very big third down.
Another possession where the Tigers are in their own 20. I mean, this North defense is starting to get it figured out, Pryor.
No, yeah,
and I have to switch it up.
Feel like Lee Summit feels like they've got Lee Summit on the ropes here. Tigers need to make something happen.
3 receivers out wide again for the Tigers. Play action. Ball across the middle. Incomplete.
No flag on the play. Looked like there was some contact.
Pass ball is incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
It'll be a 4th and 13.
Punt team will come on. See if we can have, I mean, Matthew Banhart's in a tough spot here. Pushed about on his own 5 punting. It's hard to get a punt off that far, but he's had some great punts.
Yeah, he really backed up here. Doesn't help him that much, but hopefully he can get it away here cleanly. And this is going to be a big test for Lee Summit's defense on this next drive. There's another.
Like might have been muffed a little bit. It'll bounce out of bounds at about the 39-yard line, giving Lee Summit North some great starting field position.
And a tough starting field position for Lee Summit's defense. Really going to need to make some things happen. Already almost in field goal range for the Broncos.
From the 37-yard line. 38-yard line.
Let's see if that D-line for Lee Summit can step up here after that last possession that North really just mowed down the defensive line running to that right side.
A sack here, if North goes to the pass game, would be beneficial for the Tigers. I mean, get them out of their own territory, push them back, and get some pressure on the quarterback. And not
Looks
allow
like
them
we're
make
going to
easy
see
throws.
both quarterbacks are in the game here. Elijah Leonard and Maxwell Ford.
Handoff to Maxwell Ford, tries to bounce outside, goes back, play, and it is caught, but it'll be a loss of 1. Flag down on the play. I think that might have been an illegal pass forward.
Zach Coatsy, penalty flag.
I believe
Something
so
weird went on
too.
there.
I believe they were trying to get a trick play where another receiver was trying to come around the backside
Yeah.
and throw a touchdown to another receiver, but the Lee Summit defender caught onto it.
Made a good stop. Good
really-
catch by North to catch that one too.
And good job by Lee Summit's defense recognizing that. That was a wacky formation there.
Penalties
And they handed it.
taunting personal foul against the Tigers. We first and 10 for the Broncos.
Personal foul on the Tigers.
And that's just stuff you can't have down 8 points. There's no need for it, especially when a team's close to your red zone. You're already backed up. You can't have plays like that.
They'll spot the ball on 24-yard line.
Tanner Howe's back in the backfield now.
Great field position for the Broncos. 1st and 10. Minute 16 left in the third. Still a whole quarter of football to play. Handoff up the middle and is tripped up. If
Some
he
more-
wasn't tripped up there, that would have been to the house prior.
Some more great blocking by Lee Summit North's offensive line. It looks like they're just going to keep running that ball.
First and goal for the Broncos.
Offensive line creating some nice holes here for Tanner Howes and company.
Broncos inside the 10 now. Empty backfield for the Broncos. We haven't seen this much tonight. Keeper, left side, has blockers.
Gets to around the 5-yard line.
Good tackle there to recognize that.
I believe
Shift
that was
the defense to get
Landon
to that
Barnett on the
side.
tackle.
Number 20, Landon Barnett. Second down and goal.
And they don't need to run another play before the end of the third quarter. Let's see if they do. Clock running down, now almost down to 10 seconds now, and I think they're just going to take it to the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, it looks like the third quarter's going to wind down.
And what a third quarter for the Broncos, putting themselves in great position heading into this fourth quarter. Already in the red
That is
zone.
the end of the third quarter.
An update on some of the games we covered at halftime. Lee Summit West is up 20-19 against Staley now, and Liberty increased their lead 35-21 against Park Hill, trying to make a comeback. Prior, that was a very interesting third quarter we just watched there. I think it was definitely more North's offense that really showed there.
For sure, and especially really both sides of the ball, defense as well. Defense really locked down on Josh Manning and David Dossett late in that third quarter and really didn't allow him to get anything done. And North, Lee Summit North has just showed us in that third quarter why they're so highly ranked in the state.
Able to bounce back. I mean, it was a tied game. Lee Summit got the ball at half, scored on a good drive, and Lee Summit North bounced right back with 2 scores, and now they're up 8. 12 minutes left to play in this football game.
And I believe Lee Summit is going to need a goal line stand right here. Would be massive for them. In a shotgun formation here.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a run prior. I think that's what it's going to be.
I think so too.
It is a
Option.
keeper
And
trying to get the
touchdown.
outside edge, and he does. Touchdown Broncos.
Lee Summit North has blown it open here early in the fourth. Good communication there by the offensive line and Maxwell Ford right there.
To really
Good
set
blocking.
that edge. Yeah. Good job of setting the edge and following the blockers to take that one to the house. Tigers down 2 scores. 11 minutes left. I think it's comeback season, Pryor. I think the Tigers are not out of it at all.
Definitely not out of it yet. I mean, they've been pretty much underdogs the whole game, and I mean, they went up 16-10 at one point. You definitely can't count them out the way they've been playing, but definitely going to need a big offensive drive here early in this fourth quarter with the Broncos having a 15-point lead right now.
Offense 100% has to step up. I mean, they've been doing that all night, but if the offense can capitalize here and get a score, I think we're going to see a very good ball game till the end of it.
I don't believe it's four down territory yet if you get a fourth down, but definitely going to need to make some plays happen.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say this Lee Summit North's defense has been doing so well, such a good job of, is holding Devin Andrews to not many yards. I mean, we have not heard his name very much, as Tigers have been mostly passing tonight, because that's, I mean, what's been working, but that's good on the Lee Summit North defense for
they've really been holding Devin Andrews and Elijah Martinez from running. Lee Summit has had no rushing game here tonight, really at all. They've been playing that QB spy on Elijah Martinez as well as blitzing, really trying to get him under pressure and make some bad decisions, which luckily he hasn't so far really in this one. And we will see a return.
Tries to cut it outside. Good juke move. Brought down on the 29-yard line. Decent field position for the Tigers.
And I want to see if they try to switch things up with Lee Summit North figuring it out the last 2 drives. If they try to go with a slant attack or they try to go deep. But the offensive line is really going to need to step up on this possession here. It's going to be really crucial for the Tigers.
Agreed. And I think an efficient drive is also in order for the Tigers. 11 minutes is a lot of time, but at the same time, you don't want to waste too much time and put yourself in a bit of a time crunch.
For sure. Definitely don't want that first drive of the third quarter where they used up 7 minutes of that clock.
Yeah. Tigers still have 2 timeouts. North has all 3.
3 receivers out wide, right.
Play action. Keeper is grabbed. Ball is loose, but they called him down. It'll be a loss of 3.
Trying to get that read option set up in the second half. Hasn't been really working so far. A loss of 2. Not a good start to the drive.
Still second down. Four receivers out wide for the Tigers. Pass play. Elijah Martinez scrambles out right. Keeps it himself and will be pushed out of bounds at the line of scrimmage.
Lee Summit North's secondary has really stepped up here in this second half. Ever since they allowed that touchdown to David Dossett early in the third quarter, really been locking up those receivers and closing holes for Elijah Martinez to throw.
Third down and 12.
Long third down for the Tigers.
And a crucial one as well. Very crucial third down. Biggest play of the game right here.
We've seen the Tigers convert on 3rd and 7 multiple times. Only 4 more yards. One of those 3rd and 7s went for a David Dossett touchdown, so we could see a third down conversion here.
For sure.
I believe we're going to see a pass, and I think Devin Andrews is going to stay back and block. He does. Blitz comes, pressure's on him. Has to throw that one away. And that'll bring it to 4th and 11 for the Tigers.
Once again, that pocket collapsing for Lee Summit's offensive line. North really getting that pressure on now. Seems like that blitz they've been doing the whole game has really wore down that offensive line here.
Starting to show, yeah. That blitz is really getting through the O-line and getting pressure on Elijah Martinez, which is what he was doing so well in the first half, was being able to have time in the pocket and throw those passes and connect with his receivers.
For sure.
Matthew Banhart out the punt. 10:44 left in the fourth. Punting this one from his zone 15.
High snap.
Good punt. Gonna receive a return. Brought down at the 35.
Return by number
Good time,
5.
good job by the special teams unit right there, not allowing a big return.
Tackled by number 58, Jalen Porter.
Jalen Porter on the
First and
tackle.
10 for the Broncos from the 35-yard line.
This Tiger defense needs to come up clutch here. If
Tigers
the Broncos
not
get a score here.
Tigers not out of it yet, but they're definitely going to need a stop on this possession here.
Down 15. Defense gets a stop here. Tigers are able to work with something.
Definitely going to need to get some pressure on that offensive line here.
Run, cuts it back up the middle. Brought down after a gain of 7. I think we're going to see a lot of that prior. I think we're going to see Lisa North really running the ball and just sticking to the ground game, which has been working so well. And
For
now
sure,
that they have the lead, trying to burn that clock.
For sure, especially with a 2-possession lead, they're obviously going to try to burn that clock and make sure Lee Summit doesn't get the ball back, try to play conservative, and not force any turnovers.
Three receivers out wide for Lisa North.
See if that D-line can get some pressure here.
Run left side, Tanner Howes with the ball. Good tackle by the defense. Stop him.
Running by number 5, Tanner House.
It'll be
Another
a
big
first
run.
down for the Broncos.
Another big run from Howes. Been a big factor in this one with that long touchdown, and also on the ground, just really getting them rushing yards.
And one
Multiple
thing
20-yard,
he's done so well is
multiple
really getting
20-yard
to the
rushes
edge.
for him.
Getting to the edge, and I mean, he's so fast and can get around the defenders. First down for the Broncos. Ball on the 45-yard line, the Tiger 45. Three receivers out wide. Handoff goes up the middle. Met by the Tigers. Brought down after a gain of
Finally,
about
Lee
1.
Summit stopping that run there, only allowing a gain of 2. Good job by that Tigers D-line.
It seems when the Broncos try to run it up the middle, that's where the Tigers have the best chance of stopping with Ozahan Begwin. I mean, him and Sohaib Hamoud are so good on that defensive line, but Lee Summit North's offensive line doing such a good job of setting blocks and enabling their running backs to get the holes.
For sure. The Broncos have already taken 3 minutes off the clock on this possession.
Their handoff has room. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Quincy Baker doesn't get many carries, but when he does, he makes them count. Had multiple big carries here tonight on 3rd down, where they've really needed him. He's really stepped up.
$8:10 and counting on the clock here.
Almost in the red zone for Lee Summit here. That's the 8-minute mark here in this 4th quarter.
Pass play here. Maxwell Ford rolls out right. Sets his feet, throws, and overthrown. That'll be incomplete. 2nd and 10 for the Broncos.
Just looking for Isaiah Mosey right there. Good coverage by Xander Hall.
Looking for that one-on-one matchup. Not a bad shot, 1st and 10, up 2 possessions. I don't think that's a bad shot at all for the end zone.
Definitely not. I mean, with North being up 15, definitely want to try to make it a 3-possession lead here and really shut out the Tigers, make sure they don't have a chance of coming back. Quincy Baker in the backfield again here for the Broncos. See if they try to utilize him here. And flag on the play.
Play whistled down.
It'll be a false start against
on
the
the
Broncos.
offense.
A false start against the Broncos. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
2nd and 15 for the Broncos.
Let's see if that penalty comes back to bite them now. Now making it a 2nd and 10.
2nd and 15.
Yeah, excuse me, 2nd and 15. Still running that same formation. Baker in the backfield. They are going to run it to him.
bounces off of one guy, is brought down after a gain of 10.
Carry. Tackled by number 10, Malachi Shaw.
Third down and 5.
Third down and 5.
This is going to be a really big third down right here.
Even limiting the Broncos to a field goal would help that offense have a chance to get back in it.
Shotgun formation. Timeout Broncos.
Timeout called by the Broncos.
Broncos will take their first time out of the half. I think the Broncos realize how big of a third down this is, and if they could convert this one, it'll almost ice the game.
Yeah,
But
this is really Lee Summit's last chance here. I feel like, especially in this one, with you're playing such a good team. They've played such a good game here tonight, but Lee Summit North really in the second half is just dominated.
And I think if you're the Tigers, if Lee Summit North scores here, you're in 4-down territory where if you get that fourth down and even long, you're going to have to go for it and try and generate more offense.
For sure. And it's really crucial that they don't get this first down, because if they do, the clock's going to continue ticking and give them less chance on offense to score.
Tigers still have 2 timeouts. Lee Summit North with 2 as well. Looks like we'll have an empty backfield for the Broncos. We could see a keeper here. We've seen that a lot with the empty backfield.
And
Pass. Defender on him. Hits his receiver and brought out of bounds. It's going to be close. Flag down on the play.
I believe they're going to mark it a first down here.
See what the penalty is.
I believe it might be on the Tigers.
I think you might be right.
And great job by Maxwell Ford to get out of the pocket. It was a wacky snap. Nobody was really ready for it. Still found the receiver and got the first down. This referee's talking about it here.
So we've got here. It'll be on the Broncos.
And that's a massive penalty right now on a third down.
Almost puts them in a way tougher. Looks like they call it on the Broncos. Okay.
We have a dead ball taunting penalty against the Broncos. There was an ejection.
Ejection as a result of that play.
Looks like Xavier Winston will head off the field. This is a very big third down here for Lee Summit. Really their last chance. And that penalty helps them out here, making it a 3rd and 10.
Ball spotted on the 29-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Broncos.
Going shotgun here is pretty surprising, considering they've ran the ball so well here, trying to chew clock. Might be looking for that
Pass.
touchdown.
Across the middle, caught, and touchdown Broncos.
And great read once again by Maxwell Ford, really coming out in the second half. And the Broncos have blown this one wide open with a 21, possibly 22-point lead here.
And like we've seen a little bit better in this second half for the Broncos is Maxwell Ford really having time in the pocket to set his feet, make throws, and hit his receivers.
And the kick is good.
That'll make it 38-16, Lee Summit North. 6:57 left to play.
Owen Barnell's extra point.
And now for the offense, I feel like it's 4th down territory here.
100%.
Down
Down
22
3 scores.
points. 6 minutes left.
Got to try and get as much offense going as you can.
Desperation time here for the Tigers.
North will come out for the kickoff here.
North student section really getting into it now as they feel up 3 possessions now with only 6:57 on the clock.
Squib kick, intercepted short, goes down at the 40. Interesting play there.
And great job there on that kickoff to give them a better field position.
Yeah, good hands on the receiver of the kickoff there. Spider hands that football and went down with it.
I'm sure Coach Thomas is really just telling his team right now, just do whatever it takes. Got to get a touchdown this drive for the Tigers.
Got to score quick, too.
For sure. Because you know North is going to milk that clock with 6:57 left. You've got to get in for a minute or two. And let's see if that offensive line can hold. It's been struggling here in the second half.
Which I think is caused of that blitz that North has constantly been applying, really wearing them down. And, I mean, as an offensive lineman, it's hard to contain the blitz play after play after play, drive after drive.
Especially when North's got such great players.
Yeah.
Like Cade Williams.
Pass across the middle.
I believe that's Landon Moutre.
Landon Moutre for a gain of 20.
Tigers running hurry up.
Now we're seeing that hurry up offense.
5 wide.
The backfield. Quick pass. Dump off to Josh Manning. Good for a gain of 6.
Good job so far through these first 2 plays. Already in North's territory.
Moving quickly.
39-yard line.
And that offensive line holding up so far. Across the middle. Caught. Finally blow that one down.
I believe that's Landon Moutre again.
Good catch
Some
across
catches
the
by
middle,
him on
first
this
down.
drive.
Tigers stick with the 5 wide. Elijah Martinez steps up, trips, good block. Tries to run the guy over, but is brought down.
Looked like the 2 North defenders ran into each other right there. A little miscommunication. Not seeing where they were. The Tigers have done pretty well with the clock on this drive. Only wasted about a minute of it. They need to go fast here.
Ball on the 18. Senses that pocket collapsing, goes down, and that'll be loss of 2 on the play. 3rd and 3 for the Tigers. You got to think, Pryor, it's 4 down territory, so we still have 2 downs, but short distance to go.
It's do or die right here in this drive. If you get to a 4th down, you've got to go for it.
David Dossett moves to the right side. Devin Andrews on the left. Clock is ticking.
Down to 5 minutes left in this 4th quarter.
Blitz, snap dropped, fumble, recovered by the Tigers.
And that is really not what you wanted right there. On a 3rd down, makes it a 4th and 8, I believe.
Yeah, 4th and 8 for the Tigers.
And this is do or die right here for the Tigers.
Got to convert right here.
Clock continues to tick here. Down to almost 4 minutes left in this 4th quarter.
Pressure on him and sack. Turnover on downs for the Broncos.
sack on the play by number 5, Williams Dewary. First and 10 for the Broncos.
And that'll just about do it here. 3-possession lead with 4:09 left. And what a dominating second half for Lee Summit North. Really came out after that touchdown pass to David Dossett that put the Tigers up 16-10. Felt like the Tigers had them on the ropes a little bit. And they just completely buckled down, got their composure back, and looked like the number 6 team in the state.
I agree. I mean, you couldn't have said it better. I mean, they came out of the second half, realized what they were doing wrong, capitalized on it, and they're playing like a number 6 ranked football team right now.
Broncos in the I formation. Looks like they're just going to run it.
Handoff. Good tackle. Brought down at the line of scrimmage.
Quad Chapman with the carry.
I believe that was Braden Sullivan and Sohaib Hamoud in there on that tackle.
Good recognition by the safeties there. There was going to be a run. Saw them come in to try and fill those holes on the interior.
Clock continues to wind down, and North is just going to take every single one of those seconds off that play clock.
Big burst of speed there. Going to be short of the first down
Carrier is number 32,
by a yard or
Quad
two.
Chapman.
Looked like he might have went out of bounds. He did not. Clock is still running.
And it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and short here.
3rd down and 1.
Let's see if Lee Summit can hold them. Down under 3 minutes to go.
Three receivers out wide for the Broncos. One man in the backfield. Quarterback keeps it. Has blockers.
Here's a flag on the play.
Got the first down.
Could be a holding call.
There is a penalty flag down.
North student section really getting into it now. 2:37 left.
Offsetting penalties, holding against the
Penalties
Broncos,
offset
face
there.
mask against the Tigers.
So it'll still be 3rd and
Big
1.
way down.
There's a face mask call on the Tigers and a holding on the Broncos. It's 2 offset, resulting in 3rd and 1. .230 left in the 4th quarter.
Expect another run here from the Broncos. Lee Summit looks like they're sending a blitz here.
Quarterback keeper brought down. That'll be 4th down.
Maxwell forward with the carry.
Good tackle there by the Tigers to hold on.
Tackle by number 24.
Good job to not
Don
get
Watson.
caught up in the moves.
And
We know the
it looks
quarterback's
like
shifty and can get around guys, but they were able to keep him behind the line of scrimmage. 4th and short.
Gonna bring in Elijah Leonard here.
I
Could see
think
a
we could
fake
see a
on
trick
this.
play. I think we might, Pryor.
Could see a fake on this for them to try and ice the game. I see Quincy Baker coming back in as well.
4th and short. Bringing in the punter / quarterback. I think we could definitely see them try and go for it here. Not a whole lot really to lose if you don't get it. Not with the way your defense has been playing.
And we're gonna have a timeout called by
Clock stops at
North.
minute 28. Probably like you said, we've seen this 2nd quarter so far. I mean, we've just seen the Tigers just get kind of stopped on offense. They really fizzled out a little bit. I mean, North's defense really picked it up and started to figure out what the Tigers were doing.
Seems like a switch just flipped as soon as Tanner Howes caught that 75-yard
Yeah.
touchdown
Yeah. That
from
seemed to be
Maxwell
kinda
Ford. It seemed like the turning point in the game for Lee Summit North.
Yeah.
They really got into it and really just figured it out on all sides of the ball to put them in this position to win this game. As Lee Summit North will talk it over. I definitely expect them to go for it here and try to ice this game.
I do too. As we do
Maxwell
see,
Ford does come back out on the field, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
You predicted. Interested to see if we see a run or a pass
Quincy
here.
Baker's going to get the ball here.
Handoff goes up the middle and gets it. First
And
down
that
for the
will ice the
Broncos.
game for the Broncos.
Quincy Baker with the carry.
And what a team win for the Broncos. Really haven't felt that much adversity so far in the season besides that one loss they had to Liberty North. And what a comeback win for them. Seemed like Lee Summit had them. And come back and really just shut them down on all sides of the ball. So they will take a knee here. Just over a minute to go here.
2 kneel down should finish this one off. I mean, prior, honestly, it was a great game, I felt like, up until about that Tanner Howes touchdown, and it really just, the Tigers were in it, hung on to it, but Lee Summit North showed why they're ranked so high as they are and brought it back.
Well, I feel like this is a learning experience for Lee Summit for sure, because it feels like they kind of had it when they went up by that 16-10 score early in the third quarter with David Dossett's touchdown, and you could really feel the tide turning.
And I mean, David Dossett with an incredible game. Had that touchdown, multiple
Even though in the loss,
receptions.
had one of the best receiver games you could ask for, and Elijah Martinez played his heart out with North just swarming all over the ball and sending that blitz. Surely a better performance it was this year than last year, as Lee Summit North wins their third straight over the Tigers.
Final score was 38-16. Lee Summit Broncos improved to 3-1. Tigers fall to 2-2. That being said, signing out, I'm Nolan Strickland.
And I'm Pryor Godfrey.
Thank you to our crew, producer Micaiah Clayton, camera Corinne Foxhoven, Anaya Phillips on camera, Paige Gregory with the camera and Sideline Report. Have a good night.